Hello and welcome to episode 9, believe it or not, of PR in a Car with me, Rich Lee of the Radioactive group and Radioactive PR in particular. To you eagle-eyed YouTube viewers, am wearing sunglasses because I'm just that cool. No, we got some sun, haven't we? Is it the most British thing ever that I seem to talk about weather in each of these bloody podcasts? What was wrong with me? Thankfully, Storm Dennis and all his cousins have fucking done one. So here I am, no big black coat, sunglasses, looking mint. I don't say the word mint. I'm doing that for attention, like most things. So today I'm going to be talking about digital PR. It's something that you might notice is taking the marketing world by storm if you are on Twitter. Taking it by storm for the first time since the last time, I should say. Because this is not the first iteration of digital PR. It probably won't be the last. Since I've been working in PR, and I know I've said it a couple of times on here, but if this is the first episode you listen to, I've worked in PR, predominantly consumer PR for 12 plus years now. Brands big and small, from household name brands, and, leading on accounts for those, and obviously with our agency, leading on accounts for those, all the way through to startups and personal PR. So, Premier Inn, IKEA, Just Eat, the National Gallery, Go Compare, clients like that in the UK. Gravity was a big one that a lot of people kind of know. It's a guy that created a flight suit, an Iron Man-like flight suit, so we launched them. And multiple other things. So I've been around for a while, as this sunlight's likely to highlight some greys in my beard, which is wonderful. So yeah, I've been around a while. This is the third time I've seen digital PR kind of kick up as as something that people search for and kind of crowd around. And it's not a bad thing, but its first iteration was 2008. So I was 20 when I started working in PR. 2008. It was basically digital PR was any coverage that you got online. And it was at a time when most people, we still had clients that were like, okay, that's nice, cheers for the online, but are we in Guardian? Are we in the Guardian? Are we on Sky News? That still happens, but to a much lesser degree, especially on the print side of things. So digital PR in 2008 to say 2010, from by my recollection, others might disagree, was kind of that. Then on from there, you had digital PR, meaning anybody that was half decent at social media, and that was the next iteration. If you Google it, if you Google digital PR 2010, I think there's I did this the other day just because I was like, I swear this keeps coming back around. And yeah, sure enough, there are Mashable pieces about what it means to be a good digital PR person, and it was all related to essentially content creation, community management, nothing to do with paid social at that point particularly. And this time around, what is it? Well, it's effectively PR for SEO. It is link building. It is moving the dial for online businesses when it comes to search engine performance and their rankings. So, when I first started working at 10 Yetis, so with Andy Barr at 10 Yetis on Twitter, a font of all knowledge, even if he would not like me saying that, all PR knowledge. He and we kind of made a name for ourselves in link building at a time when very, very few other agencies were doing it. And we had a client, My Voucher Codes. Some of you might know them. Big discount website. The most popular, the number one discount website at the time, and for a good few years, until the likes of Groupon and Voucher Cloud, etc. came knocking. With My Voucher Codes, we did a lot of work link building wise, and what I mean by that is we would go out and try to get as many links from high domain authority websites, so The Sun, the Telegraph, Sky News, Pocketlint, Mashable, as I said, TechCrunch, you name it, these sites, BBC, they're all high domain authority sites. They're all going to be, not Pocketlint necessarily, but the majority of the nationals are 90 plus DA. It's a score from 0 to 100. So we just thought, let's get as many relevant high domain authority links as we can into My Voucher Codes, different parts of the site. So if we were getting a link about a story about a certain retailer or a certain brand that that lots of people were searching, Argos discount voucher codes or Argos voucher codes or Argos discounts, then we were doing stories. We'd do stories that ensured that we'd mention Argos. If that gets a link back, then it gets a link, and we can try and force that link back to the Argos page on my voucher codes. Then we're going to help that site rank better for that term, because Google is unthinking, obviously, but algorithmically it says, all right, cool. If that site, the Mirror, is linking to that page, and it's it's a relevant search it's a relevant search term. Surely there's some weight to that. So let's rank my voucher codes better. Now the difference between being page 1 number 1, page 1 number 5 even, is millions of pounds to many businesses, tens of millions of pounds to many businesses, and that's why this is a kind of a battlefront that gets very, very competitive. And I guess what happened is lots of people sat on this. There are some good link builders, some good agencies that do PR for SEO that have kind of kept this under our hats because it was a point of differentiation at pitch. So when we go to speak to new clients, especially e-commerce, especially online retailers, marketplaces in particular, clients like that, it always comes up. We'll say, what do you do from a search perspective? Oh, we do, the architectural stuff. We try and build links, but it's hard. PR is a fantastic way to build links. PR should own link building. Why? Because we know what's editorially interesting. We know what journalists want to hear about. We know how to contact them. We've got the relationships in place. The thing that for a lot of agencies was missing is just that final link building piece. Now there are many ways to link build. A couple of different tactics. So those job ads you see, the get paid X to do Y stories. There's a reason they do well. From a link building perspective in particular, but there's a reason that journalists love them, because people tag their friends in. They're like, oh my god, you could be a sex toy tester. Oh my god, you can travel the world and do this. And clients love them, journalists love them, and Google apparently loves them. So the reason they work well is they close that final thing that you need closed when you're thinking about link building. They ensure that if the journalist is telling your story, they have to link to the site, because that's where you apply for the job. So when you think about a good job ad story, that's what it's there for. That's effectively why lots of people are quite snobby about it, and they'll say, oh god, if I see another bloody job ad story. It's like, well, do you know what? They work, and until they don't work, people are going to do them. And tools, calculators, on-site guides, reports, all of this kind of content works really, really well from a link building perspective. Surveys used to, back in the day, and when I say that I mean 2008, 2009, but journalists don't really have an incentive to link if you just give them a survey story, unless you've got more information on your client's site, on their news section, guide, whatever it is. I think of our coverage. We did a whole report of 2019's coverage. You can just Google Radioactive PR 12 months results or something, and you'll find it. And we found that of our work, 82% of pieces of coverage link to the client or to our clients. And of those, I think it was something like 70 something percent are follow links. That's a whole other thing you have to worry about. But a follow link is effectively the link that you want. You want coverage on sites that give you follow links. Now, so the job stories as a tactic, they work. But if you want to see specific examples, you can go onto our site. On our blog, we've got loads of examples of case studies. We're quite transparent about our work. I guess we're a smallish Gloucestershire-based agency, and we kind of scrap with the big boys. We pitch against big agencies, so we need to be quite noisy and quite transparent and open with our results and what we do. And I'm proud to be. We do fantastic work as a team. So that's why we're quite happy. So if you want to see what I mean by this, you can see even in that report. I talk about examples of this kind of thing. So we did like big Game of Thrones counselor for when for when the season ended, or for when the show ended. We've done even DataLed Stories do fantastically well. So what do I mean by that? So we've created calculators for a few different clients now, because they've got millions of data points. All it is a simple search query, or a simple query from on their coding side. When I say simple, I'm a bloody idiot. I don't know how to do this, but clever clients do, or clever development teams do. You type in your postcode. Let's say you want to know how much childcare costs in your area. This is a story we did for childcare, the UK's biggest childcare website. So if you want a nanny, a babysitter, a childminder, etc., you go to childcare, type in your postcode, up it pops with in your area how much those things cost. Journalists love that stuff, because where else are they going to get that? Where else, other than a site that has millions of data points, are they going to be able to get that from something that isn't a survey? So they link back, great regional coverage. We'll get national with that too. We did. And also there's anchor content, there's cornerstone content there that's going to keep people coming back to the site, and it's going to, people are going to search, how much is a nanny, Reading? Well, they're going to hit up on our site, or our work for childcare. So loads of different tactics from a link builder perspective, but it's also always about closing that loop. It's always about incentivizing the reason to link, rather than just picking up the phone and saying, why didn't you link? Or emailing them, can you please add a link? No, actually, I don't really want to, because it doesn't aid us in any way. But that's a quick point on how it works, why it works. Now, I know that there are some people that are sick of hearing about PR for SEO, link building, digital PR, etc. Now, I, to an extent, am as well, and it's how we make a lot of money at the agency. I'd say 3/4 of clients care about this stuff. They want to know that we can do it and do it well, and they come to us because we can, and we can evidence their increases in site visibility per keyword, or for certain keywords, certain tranches of keywords even. So it's something that we're very, very good at, and it's kind of had a bit of a revival, as I said, taking the industry by storm for the first time since the last time. Lots of people are now calling themselves digital PR specialists, digital PRs, and it's tending to be people coming from a more SEO background, and that's fine. My concern there is, one, they're kind of treating journalists like something to gain. I see that a lot. Services like Pitchbox, which is an otherwise half decent tool, are being used badly by spammers, effectively, people that think that PR is just hey, here's some content, link to my site, or link to my client's site, and then they'll set up an auto reply or an auto chase, for a week later, and then one for 2 weeks later. And I'm signed up to a lot of, or I receive lots of press releases still because of PR Examples, but also because of other news sites that I've written for. So I receive quite a lot of press releases. It's embarrassing, quite frankly, to see, because whether the stories are good or not, what you end up with is this kind of horrible feeling of just being treated like you're literally just an inbox, and you're an inbox that serves to cover that client. Now, that's not what PR is about. To me, it's about creativity. Again, there's only so many ideas. Every idea that you've thought of has in some way been thought of by somebody else and probably executed as well. So I'm not one that gets particularly precious when somebody nicks an idea, although that does happen, and happens to us in our agency, happens to me in terms of things that I've created. That's by the by. There's no such thing as a unique or a brand new idea, just kind of variations of, developments of. New technology provides an opportunity to come up with new ideas, but again, chances are it's just building on something that's already come before it. But good creative. And then what do you do after that? Well, the aim should be relationships with journalists, or at least knowing what that journalist writes about, appreciates, and just treating them like a human being, not somebody that is bound to publish your news. Now, the reason that link building works now well in 2020, and you are hearing a lot about it, is there are fewer journalists than before doing probably twice the work, and they're judged by traffic, they're judged by social shares. Some, I've been speaking to some journalists at big regional publisher. They're even judged by the amount of money made through affiliate links. And when I say judged by, it's a metric that their overlords keep an eye on. Now, that gives us an opportunity. We can serve them well. We can help them with good stories, with good creative, because we know it's going to share well. We know it's going to, do good numbers for them, and they appreciate that. We constantly get journalists that say, "Oh, God," we get journalists come to us and say, "Do you have any stories for us this week?" Which is fantastic, and that's at a national level. That's it. At sector level. So even slightly more niche trade press will come to us and say, "Do you have any stories for us?" Because they know that if we're going out with a story, chances are we've thought, okay, what's going to do well, for them. We're thinking it's a two-way street. We're not just seeing them as somebody to spaff stuff out to and fucking expect them to cover it and then incessantly chase. And the number of journalists I hear from that are just sick of it, genuinely. If you go on Twitter and search for Dear PRs, most of the journalistic gripes that you see, you can almost see it is people moaning about this pitch box, BuzzStream-led type of PR, where people are calling themselves PR people, and in effect, they're doing kind of a PR job, but not quite. And the great thing about digital PR being the word of the day is that more people are sharing their learnings, and that's a good thing. We can only get better. I'm not bloody the finished article. My agency, we're as good as I think. With my agency, I think we're fantastic. I think we do amazing work, and that's why clients come back. That's why clients come to us. Will we win every pitch? No. Will we? Does every story absolutely bang? No. But can we guarantee consistency? Can we guarantee quality? Can we guarantee traffic from our coverage? And then that's the other side of this is digital PR and measurement. I've been talking about measurement to anybody that will listen for as long as they'll listen. Let's move away from AVE. We've said for decades in PR, and AVE is advertising value equivalent, and this is something that even still big brands expect you to report on. We still get briefs now, and we push back on it. They ask us to report because of with AVE. It's because it gives them kind of a metric to then go to their finance director and say, "Hey, PR's working." Rubbish. There's another way. I've been talking about it for years. Google Goals is fantastic. The traffic that you get in from that, traffic that you get in from coverage, we can see now. Oh, see that piece from Men's Health that delivered this many people to the site, and of those people, X signed up for the mailing list, Y signed up for, bought a product. That's the level of granularity we need, and we have. Google Data Studios is fantastic. You can plug a load of APIs in there, or kind of use a load of APIs and say, right, well, our measurement or our results from over there, our results from there. We can plug them all in and actually have a decent and very visual, because clients don't read reports. You can put together a bloody 20-page report and the client will read the first page and go, all right, looks all right. So let's give clients the best reports that we can give them in as visual a way as we can give them, in as easily digestible a way as we can give them, because at the end of the day, it's something that it's just another thing that gets added on in terms of time to their working week, and who wants that? So reporting, measurement, and all of these things, we can all learn how to be better at that. And it's fantastic. There are people out there that freely give their time to help people improve in that case. So digital PR, I'm not averse to it. I think there are a few players that lack humility, and what it does, it kind of makes it a bit dog eat dog. And do you know what? There are more than enough clients to go around, and that's the number one thing. Digital PR is just another tactic, just like social media when it came out, and everybody's like, digital PR, it's just another tactic. It's just another way to reach an audience and get them to do or think what we want them to do or think. And as cynical as that sounds, that's how I feel about PR. That's what I think about PR. It's whether it's getting people to put their hand in their pocket, whether it's getting people to change their mind about a certain person, whether it is getting somebody to donate to charity. The whole point of PR is attitude change, behaviour change, and that's what we're doing even with link building. It's behaviour change or increasing the likelihood of a customer seeing our clients because of search. And as I said earlier on, search is, for many brands, you're a big comparison site. The difference between page 1 number 1 and page 1 number 5 is massive in terms of earnings. and that is a fight that goes on day in, day out, because of algorithmic changes and search changes happen all of the time. And this is constant, and you need to keep an eye on it, and it makes a massive difference. Some clients come to us and say, hey, Radioactive, we spend a fucking fortune on PPC, pay-per-click on Google Ads. We'd quite like not to, cheers. Is there any way you can help us kind of reduce that spend? And link building is a great way to do that. Let's help them climb the rankings so that more people find them. That old joke about burying a body on page 2 of Google. That's what we do. And also with link building as well, we get kind of reverse briefs sometimes. We get people that say, there's some stuff there that happened under a different administration of this company, but people are still seeing it. What I'd prefer is that wasn't on page 1. The second that somebody Googles our name, what can you do about that? And we can help with that too. It's just that, you define it as reputation management, and it sounds like a grey area ethically. It's not, on a case-by-case basis, certainly. So, there's loads of different ways that the fact that we're all talking about digital PR is a good thing. But media relations, social media, link building, stunts, these are all just part of the marketing mix, part of the PR mix. Anybody declaring traditional PR, and this is something that I see a lot from these, so-called digital PR types. I see that they're like, right, traditional PR's dead. You get your client on BBC Breakfast and tell me that doesn't make a difference to their business. Can you do that if you're a digital PR specialist? Or is it the case that it's just part of the mix? And I said in my last podcast, I wrote a response to a client brief, and I think it was one of the best proposals I put together because we answered their problem with a relevant solution, not a PR, not a traditional solution. And that's my concern with this stuff, is that clients are, it's this big shiny secret recipe thing over there. Sorry, I watch a lot of SpongeBob with my kids. I watch a lot of SpongeBob. So it's this secret recipe, or is it just another tactic? It's just another tactic. You can be strategic about it, absolutely, but it's just another tactic, and you can be fantastic at this, and it makes a massive difference. It moves the dial massively for clients. But any kind of poo-pooing of, I don't think I've ever said that word out loud, any poo-pooing of traditional PR and traditional PR tactics, and that's kind of how it feels. It's like, oh guys, we're the cool kids because we're doing this and we're new. And do you know what? The same shit happens with social media agencies in 2010. This is no different. We've seen it all, and let's all just agree that it should be on a case-by-case basis. A client comes in, we say, this is good for you. Let's look at your audience. Who are they first? What they listen to, watching, reading, consuming, searching for? What are they searching on? What podcasts do they listen to? What TV shows do they watch? What social media do they use? What are they likely to be searching when they think about the product or service your business offers? Well, let's think about all of these things and then give you a menu of tactics and an overarching strategy. That's what we should be doing. That's what a good PR person or good agency does. It offers a relevant solution to each particular problem. We're problem solvers. That's what we're doing. It's all about the right hammer to hit the right nail and all that nonsense, whatever the saying is. So I think digital PR is fantastic. I think link building is not going away. It's more prevalent than ever because I guess people are more noisy about it now, and we're getting to the point where we're able to learn from each other and get better at it, and that's a good thing. It's opening up a market. I mean, we had a brief recently and we didn't win it, sadly. I think, and we can learn even from that. Tens of thousands of pounds a month this client wanted to pay for this, so there is, there's a real kind of appetite for this done well. But let's not pretend that this is anything especially groundbreaking, especially brand new. I've talked a lot about people that are sharing. I listened to Laura Hampton's podcast, Outspeech, last week. That seems to be, that seems to me like it's going to be a really good kind of, good podcasts about specifically this. There are some really nice blogs out there, some good people on Twitter as well. So yeah, have a gander. So that there is PR versus digital PR. In effect, there is no versus. It's PR as an overarching term, digital PR as a tactic. That's how I see it. And as I said, in 2 years, 3 years, there'll be another meaning of digital PR. Maybe we'll get fucking chips on our head. Black Mirror star. One of my guys, Callum, every single one of the members of the team, every single bloody ideas meeting, he comes up with some idea that relates to a Black Mirror episode. So he'll love this. Maybe we've all got chips on our head, and that's the new digital. Because there's this overarching or overlaid AR bloody societal framework, and no, actually digital PR is work within that space. Like, it sounds ridiculous, but that's probably where we'll be. And then these digital PRs will say, hang on, that's not digital PR, fuck it, let's all stop getting worried about semantics and just realise it's all about doing good work for the client with the abilities that we have and the strategy, with the ability we have and the tools we have at our disposal. So that's what it is. That's what I think about it. It's a positive thing. We do it. Just I guess by a different name, but maybe because market dictates. We might need to start thinking more about digital PR in general as a term to pull potential clients. But Christ, it's like the fitness industry, and that's my background. Before PR, I was a personal trainer for a couple of years, so not a long time, but enough to get to know the industry well. And it's almost like people need new things because they don't like the idea that they don't like the idea that eating less and moving more is basically the option. The fitness industry is a funny one. Every year or two there's another kind of fad. Every year or two there's another book telling you, no, don't do it like that, do it like this from a nutrition perspective, when in reality we all know eat less, move more. You do those two things, you are going to do well. Create a calorie deficit, you're going to do well. So don't let anybody really sell you magic beans on this, on digital PR, on link building. There are still tried, proven tactics and ways to work that move the dial, and I think we do them well. And there are lots of other agencies that do too. Lots of in-house teams that do too. To those people that are getting a bit bored of it, just hang on in there. This is what it was like when, as I said, everybody was, when we had social media fucking ninjas and things like that. You don't see social media mavens and whatever. You don't see too many of those anymore, do you? So, hang on in there, it'll get better. It's just while the market kind of adjusts to clients going, oh, we need that, because they didn't realise that was important before. Whereas, as I said, there are brands and agencies like mine, like Andy's, that have been doing this for a long time and kind of, skating by, happy that there are people that don't necessarily know what this is, how to do it. I think that's it from me. If anybody, I was going to say, has anybody got any questions? What a idiot. This is a one-way medium, Rich. But on that note, if you have got anything you would like me to chat about, got any questions about this in particular, if you want to just ask me a question about anything PR related, you've got any queries, tweet me at RichLeePR, LEIGHPR, email me, rich@radioactivepr.com, and just give me all of the 5 stars, please. All of the 5 stars. Why wouldn't you? You got something mean to say? Why are you being horrible? Yep, 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and anywhere else you listen would be phenomenal. Subscribe on those things. Subscribe to YouTube. If you're listening to this as a podcast and you think, do you know what, I quite want to see just how cool he looks in his sunglasses, pop on over to YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you're like, not that fucking cool, Rich, actually I could do without your massive face, you might prefer the audio version. Who knows? I'm not your real mum. Yeah, that's it from me. Have a good one. Oh, somebody told me off last week for my goodbye forever, so I'll just goodbye forever it. Okay. Yeah, apparently I shouted it a bit loud, which I enjoy. It's Adam Buxton, it's his fault. It's his fault entirely. Alright, go listen to Adam Buxton, he's brilliant. Alright, have a good one. I was going to do it then. I won't do it. Alright, see you all later. Enjoy your lives. Have a nice life. Goodbye.